This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. The Prime Minister is looking to quash growing perception that his government's campaign of accountability and transparency is nothing more than talk. A statement following Thursday's secretive heads of agreement signing for the proposed multi-million-dollar development at Lighthouse Point, Bannerman Town, South Eleuthera, notes that the agreement will be tabled in the House of Assembly at its earliest meeting on Wednesday, March 20th. The government announced the HOA signing at a town meeting in South Eleuthera on Saturday, quote, out of respect for those residents, adding that immediately following the announcement, the Office of the Prime Minister released an extensive release outlining key points of the heads of agreement. Those points include the commitment that the project will not begin until both the environmental impact assessment and environmental management plan are reviewed and approved, that approximately 190 acres of the land purchased from the private seller will be conveyed to the government for conservation in a national park, and that 120 construction jobs will be created along with 150 permanent jobs. This added to a variety of entrepreneurial opportunities for Bahamians, access to the property for all for non-commercial purposes, integration of Bahamian cultural and artistic expression into the design of the site. Disney is also expected to partner with agencies to develop training and professional development programs. One man in custody following a late-night drug seizure while the hunt continues for another in a separate matter. We're told officers from Flying Squad were patrolling New Hope Drive just before 11 p.m. when they spotted two men acting suspiciously. Police say one of the men ran off, the other was searched. He was found with 37 packages of marijuana. He was taken into custody. An hour later, intelligence-led officers returned to an abandoned building in the same area where they found two clear plastic packages of marijuana and a .357 Glock pistol. No one was arrested. Back to the classroom for Inagua students following a recent scabies outbreak on that island, forcing the school's closure. Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson telling our news team the students were treated and the school cleaned. Similar precautionary measures were taken in the case of the Harbor Island all-age school following news of hand, foot, and mouth disease. Mrs. Wilson says she's still awaiting further information on this case. Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd last week stressed that sanitizing a particular school is not necessarily the cure-all to avoiding such illnesses, as they generally originate in personal circumstances. The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation to host another energy security forum scheduled for one week from today. The forum, now in its 5th year, serves as a platform to discuss and exchange ideas, policies, and initiatives intended to improve the state of energy in the country, as well as its impact on the environment. BCC's CEO, Jeffrey Beckles.
As we look at the whole issue of energy and electricity and all forms of energy, no Bahamian is untouched by the energy issue. Sometimes we have a tendency to look at it in the context of that, well, we're only 400,000 people, but we see it as being a country of 6.5 million people, because we must take into account every single visitor that comes to the Bahamas and how energy affects their experience, and their experience affects the economy because their experience determines how they spend. And so energy is directly related to the success and the growth of our economy.
Now, to ensure true reform, the Chamber has partnered with several stakeholders, private sector affiliates. Chair of the Energy and Environment Committee, Debbie Deal, is hoping that in return there's feedback on what can be done to reduce energy cost and consumption.
We decided to start the Green Initiative, and that is where the private sector can actually be in control of their own energy consumption, and in turn energy costs. We also, by doing that, are actually helping with our carbon emissions. You know, there's a 30% of your energy is stolen from you. I call them ghost thieves, right? So if we eliminated those 30%, every single one of us in this room and every single person in this country from our electrical consumption, we would be able to lower our carbon emissions by that 30% as well.
The lineup includes presentations from Christopher J. Burgess, project manager of Rocky Mountain Institute Carbon War Room, Pia Farmer, founder of Easy Car Sales, and Stephen Barreau, CEO of IRCA. The forum takes place at the Super Club's Breezes Resort March 19th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our final stories are up next.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.